All over America, homeowners thought they'd have buyers fighting over their house. Instead, homes are sitting on the market for longer. Price cuts are piling up, and many sellers are realizing that they may have missed out their chance to cash out. And if you're not prepared, this can happen to you too.
Be very careful where you buy a house. I have this property in Atlanta that I'm trying to sell for 4 years maybe, that I can't sell because of the HOA. Not because my property is not attractive to buyers, not because there's anything wrong with my property. The reason I can't sell that is because the HOA is they don't have any reserves, they don't have any financials, they cannot provide any documentation for a lender in order to clear the property foreclosed. First of all, they're not on the FHA approved condo list, right? Then again, with no budgets, even a conventional loan require you to submit a budget to show the health of the HOA. They don't have that. I don't know what's going on with the liability insurance. It's just, and I want to sell that property so bad, but I can't now. So when I put a property in the market a couple of years ago, I listed it for $239. I put a lot of money into that property. Got 2 or 3 offers. The first one was FHA. We tried doing a special approval thing that didn't work because they couldn't provide a budget. They didn't have a budget. So I was like, okay, we can only accept conventional loans. Conventional loan came. They still can provide the basic information that Fannie Mae requires in order for them to underwrite the loan. Couldn't even do that. So I lost those buyers. Then I eventually pulled the property off the market because I was like, I'm not doing this. Right? So I put the property off the market and I put it on Airbnb. I monitor the market. Because now they can only accept cash buyers and investors, the prices of that community has just dropped because people that want to sell, that are desperate to sell, have to reduce their price to get an investor, to get someone that's buying all cash, that's not going to be requiring financing to buy.
So a lot going on here. So one thing she said is that it's not like her property is unattractive to buyers, but it is because of the HOA, just like she said. So it's very, very, very important. If you choose to live in the HOA community, I'm not going to tell you whether you should or not. You need to make sure that they have their act together, that it's run efficiently, they have their budgets, you look at the notes, and things are just going as they should be. And because her HOA is a complete mess, she can't sell her home. Honestly, I think she should drastically drop the price and cut her losses. I don't know how much equity she has. I don't know how much money she was expecting to make, but those bills have not stopped over the past 4 years. And so I'm just curious if she's losing more than she's making over the past 4 years. But my heart goes out to her. I really feel bad for her. This is a horrible situation, but let's see what else she has to say.
And so the price went down from, what I had mine listed for. But now they're selling for $165, $150. I've even seen some of them trying to sell for. And again, it's because of the HOA. The HOA is $315 a month. Don't do nothing. The gate has been broken for years. To get to use the pool, the community pool that you pay in HOA fees for every month, you have to have a security clearance because they have like a signed or somebody that's manning the pool that you have to show that you live there, proof of residency. It's just stupid, and I want to get out so bad. The takeaway for this is, if you're buying into a community that has an HOA, particularly a condo or a townhouse, look at the HOA. Because when it's time to sell, if there's anything like this over here, it's a headache. It's a nightmare.
Gate broken for years. The pool situation, I think it's fine to confirm residency because if you don't, you're going to have all types of people in the pool taking advantage, all those kind of things. So I think that's actually a good thing. But the gate broken for years, it's like, what is the HOA doing? The people who are in charge, who are on a committee or the board or whatever, what are they doing? What are they doing with the money? This is why you need to know what's going on. And earlier, she was saying there's certain documentation that the HOA could not even provide, which prevented her from being able to sell the house. This is just a horribly run HOA. And I'm curious if it's been run this way the whole time she's owned this place or if it just got progressively worse over time. But be very careful. And one thing she mentioned, I think she said she put her property for $240 and now there are properties there selling for like $150, $160. So it's getting to almost $100,000 cuts. So again, she might want to just look at the numbers and maybe cut her losses. But let me know what you think. Do you think her place is priced too high for the situation? Does she need to cut the price, cut her losses? Let me know what you think.
Just because a house has been sitting on the market does not mean you need to lowball it. I know that's what everyone thinks. It's been on the market a while. Let's just go in way under asking. But honestly, that is not the way to win deals right now.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Let's get back.
If I'm your lender, I'm not telling you to go in low. I'm telling you to go in smart. Instead of going low on the price, I always tell my buyers to ask for seller concessions. And this is where the seller can help cover things like closing costs, rate buy down, things that actually move the needle on your monthly payment. Because at the end of the day, 10K off the price, barely going to move your payment, but 10K towards the rate or your closing costs can save you hundreds of dollars per month. So no, the goal isn't always getting the lowest price. It's learning and knowing how to structure the best overall deal that works for everyone. If you're new here, I'm Taylor the Lender, aka your mortgage big sis. If you're ready to buy this year, send me a message and I can help you structure the best deal.
All right, so on a serious note, I do understand where she's coming from. In the negotiation process, there is a point where a certain dollar amount off the list price is not going to do much, and it might be better, some seller concessions or a rate buy down or something. It just depends. It's circumstantial. However, if a property's been on the market for a long time, odds are, unless something crazy happened, it's priced too high. So I strongly encourage you, work with your realtor. They can help you strategize on how to make a solid offer and what properties like that have been on the market for as long as this property has been have gone for. And that can give you some information on what you might want to offer if you're in this situation. So she does make some good points. I thought she was going in the direction of don't offer lower so I can get a higher commission or something. I think what she said was pretty solid. By the way, if you are looking to buy or sell a home in the next 12 months and you need a realtor who can help you negotiate, who can help you shop the market and figure out what you should do, I'm a licensed realtor and I can actually help you find a realtor in your area. So if that's something you're interested in, the link is in the pinned comment of the video and we can talk from there.
If your house is still on the market and it's been months, this is probably why. So right now I'm looking online at a few houses for my potential buyers, and I came across this house. And I want to give you guys an example, the seller's an example of what we mean when it comes to decluttering prior to listing your house. It makes all the difference, I promise you. So I'm going to show you a couple pictures of this house and why we say this. This house is also so cute. It does have an updated kitchen. The floors are nice. It has space. It has room for families to grow. But unfortunately, buyers that come through cannot see themselves in this house or any house that's similar to this because of all of the pictures. All they see is your family plastered across it, and they just really kind of get this feeling like, I don't know if I want to buy this. This is not my house. It's not going to make them feel homey and cozy the way it makes you feel because you live in it every single day. So please declutter your house, take down photos so you can sell your house. So now that we saw some pictures, what are our thoughts? If you don't know who I am, my name is Ashley Shelton. I'm a local real estate agent here in Macomb and Oakland County. If you're looking to buy or sell this come spring, be sure to send me a DM.
Excellent points. I think with homes, if you've been there for a while, there is an emotional attachment. However, during the selling process, you have to put all that stuff out of the window. It's not about the home looking like you want it to. It's about the home looking how it needs to look in order to sell. Not just decluttering, taking pictures down and all this stuff, but also making sure it's clean, making sure it's in good condition for the price that you're trying to get. So she made a lot of great points, and it was just way too much going on in that house. And I get it, but you're better off getting the walls painted, taking all that down, and it'll probably help you sell the home faster, because when you walk into a home, you're trying to see yourself in it, right? And it's probably a little bit harder to do that if you see all these people's personal stuff all on the walls and everything, right? The home should look generic, for lack of a better word, right? It shouldn't look lived in, if that makes sense, right? And I get it, as a seller, if you're still living there, it's hard just to make sure everything's in tip-top shape and, it's not too personalized, but it's worth it. And it's going to help you. It's going to help people be able to see themselves in the home, see how they could personalize for themselves, where they want to put, their pictures and all those type of things, right? So great points by her here. But let me know what you think. Do you think it's necessary to, take down pictures and all those kind of things when you're trying to sell a home? Or should people just deal with it when they come to the open house? Let me know what you think. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, it will mean a lot to me if you took a second to hit that subscribe and like button so you can spread this video to more people. I appreciate it.
Our house has been listed for 40 days now. So just an update on that. We did actually have somebody stage it and get new photos, and that helped a lot. And we've had a lot of showings, and we had an open house that people actually came to. So that was great. Hopefully it sells soon because my husband went back down to Florida today. And now me and the kids are here until it sells.
Now, this is a great follow-up to the last video because this shows that doing some of those things, staging, getting new pictures done, it can help to drive interest, right? At the end of the day, you're trying to sell something, right? So it needs to be marketed in such a way. Every brand, every company that's selling stuff, they focus a lot on the packaging of the product, right? How it looks, what your impression of it is going to be. It's the same with buying a house. You have to appeal to people. You have to appeal to the market, right? And it costs money, right? It costs money to stage if that's the situation. It costs money to get pictures, but you will not regret it because odds are it's going to help the home move faster, hopefully, and ideally in the price range that you're looking for. So I'm wishing her the best. 40 days is not a crazy amount of time. So I'm hoping that she eventually sold the home a few weeks later.
Sure, it's nice, but not for that price. What can you do if your house is sitting on the market and the people that come look at it, they say it's lovely, not making an offer? So yeah, it's cute, but yeah, we don't want it. My name's Liz. I sell real estate in Charlottesville and Richmond, Virginia with eXp Realty. And it's always price. When you get to this point, right? You've had showings, you've had feedback. Within 8 to 10 or 12 showings, you should have an offer. And if you don't, it's a clear sign that it's overpriced. And if you're at the place where you can't reduce your house anymore, because if you reduce it, you don't make any money, you're not gonna make any money. I know, I'm so sorry. I have sellers that have bought within the last 2 years and now have to sell or need to sell or want to sell. And when I sit down with them, the facts are the facts. I'm curious, is your house on the market and just sitting? Or did you put your house on the market for the price that it needed to be in order for it to be sold? And did it sell? Tell us all about it.
A lot to say here. I do agree with her. All things equal, if everything is in good shape and things look good, it's packaged well, and it's been a while, and there's no offers, absolutely the price. Absolutely the price. Otherwise, it would have got an offer, unless you're in a situation where there's way more inventory, way more homes available in the area than there are buyers. That could be another factor too. And one thing she mentioned, that sometimes people need to sell within a year or two. And there's so many people out there who, for whatever reason, assume that after a year or two, they can sell their home if they want and make a bunch of money. That's typically not how it goes. You know, homes appreciate on average typically less than 10% every other year. Obviously, every local real estate market is different, but more or less, homes don't appreciate like crazy year over year. 2020, 2021 and on, when we had those crazy price hikes, that's a once in a lifetime situation, and we shouldn't count on that happening again. That being said, people who need to sell after a year or two, potentially you might lose some money. You may not even break even if that's your situation. You might just need to cut that price. You might be in a situation where you have to bring money to the closing table for the house to sell. It could be possible, but just things to keep in mind. But there's so many sellers out there being absolutely unrealistic with the prices they're looking for. And if you are looking to sell soon, I just hope you're not one of those sellers. So the reality of it is the housing market has changed. During the pandemic, many homeowners could put a for sale sign in the yard and expect multiple offers within days. But those days are gone in many parts of the country. Today, buyers are being a lot more selective. There's less FOMO. Higher mortgage rates have made it less affordable. Inventory is growing in many markets. And sellers who price their home based on what their neighbor got 2 or 3 years ago are finding themselves disappointed. Now, that does not mean you can't sell your home. Let me be very clear about that. It just means the strategy has changed. Pricing your home correctly, understanding your local market, and preparing for your home to stand out are more important than ever. And the homeowners who adapt are going to be the ones who are still getting their home sold, their home selling every single day. And so if you're planning to buy a home, this is also a reminder that real estate does not always go up overnight. Markets change, conditions change. That's why buying a home that you can truly afford, not one that stretches your budget, is one of the smartest financial decisions that you can make. So if you're trying to figure out what price range makes sense for your budget, I have a wait list open for an upgraded version of my home affordability calculator. The link is in the pinned comment if you're interested in that. And if you're planning to buy or sell a home this year or beyond and want some guidance through the process, I can connect you with a realtor in your area. If you're interested, The information for that is also in the pinned comment as well. So now that you know why homeowners are struggling to sell their homes, I want you to understand why mortgage payments are skyrocketing for millions of Americans. Check out this video right here.